Welcome students to our first video tutorial in which I'm going to teach how to make a walkthrough for our second project, the Roman reconstruction. The first thing that you have to do is to open the four viewports. Okay, remember that the first three viewports need to be in wireframe and the last one, the perspective one, in shaded. I'm going to start now creating my camera. So I have to go to the creation panel and choose the camera button. Target is the type of camera that we always use. And just by clicking and dragging here in the top viewport, I put my camera where I want to put it. I hit escape to deselect the type of camera that I need. And I can continue just by going to the perspective viewport and hitting the letter C of camera to turn it on. Okay, I like the way I have the camera in this scene, but if you need to move it and adjust the position of the camera, you can go to another viewport, select it, and move it with the W tool. Okay, gotta leave it this way. Remember also that the camera projects a blue light, and at the end of that light, you can find the target. That is gonna help you also to focus on the camera and show what you want to show. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there and I'm gonna continue. The second thing you have to make is the path that your camera is gonna follow. In order to do that, you have to go to the creation panel. The second button is shapes and pick the line option. With the line, you are going to draw the path that the camera is gonna go along. So I already decided that my camera is gonna start here. It's gonna go around this place like this, and it's gonna end this short tour here. So I make a click, another click here in the middle, and then another one here, and make a right click to finish and hit escape to deselect. As you can see, we have one, two straight lines. The movements will be too rough, okay, and the camera will start like bouncing and jumping all around the tour, all around the walkthrough. So what we have to do right now is to convert those straight lines into curves. How do I do that? Select the line, go to modify, pick the vertices option. On the top viewport, select them all. Then make a right click and choose Bezier corner. With these handles, convert the line into soft open curve, okay, and then deselect from the sun. After that, what we have to do is to make a second path for the target. So I use the same strategy, go to shapes, line, and make a second line. Before making that second line, I want you to please consider or take your time thinking what you want to show. Okay, in my case, I want that my camera starts pointing at this part, so I'm gonna make a click maybe right here, click, and then I want it maybe here at the end of everything. Right click to finish, hit escape to deselect. It is a straight line, so we have to do the same thing. Modify, vertex, select both vertices like this, and make a right click, Bezier corner. Move the handles and make a good curve. Okay. Now I'm ready to attach the camera and the target to the corresponding paths. First, select the camera, go to Animation, Constraints, Path Constraints. Here in the top viewport, I want you to please zoom in with the scroll, and with this dotted line, select the path that you designed for the camera, in this case the blue one. The end of the line, this. Uh-huh. Then, with the camera selected, make a right click and choose this option, select camera target. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the camera. Animation, constraints, path constraints. This time I'm gonna click on this path. Just after making that, I want you to please check the timeline. If you can see here in frame 0 and in frame 440, I have two black boxes. They're called keyframes. They contain the animation. As I move my slider in the timeline, you can see how the camera goes along the path and the corresponding path for the target. If you need to edit that, edit any of those two paths, what you have to do is to touch the line that you need to edit, go to modify, choose vertices, and you can select each vertex or one vertex and move it up, down, right, left, or the whole line and move it and place it where you want. You can do the same with the paths, the path of the target. Okay, I'm gonna leave it maybe here, and because I like it. And now I'm gonna work on the speed of my animation. I'm gonna hit play animation to see it in this viewport. I think it goes too fast, so I'm gonna change that speed by clicking in this button here. Time configuration is a little watch. I want you to please change the speed. This is the slowest. Okay, and one recommendation: do not use too many frames. I'm gonna use around 150 and see how it goes. Be careful when changing the time or the number of frames. Be sure before starting rendering that your walkthrough is complete. How can you check that? Click on the camera and see how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna click on play again. I think I'm going to make some changes here. I'm gonna move this path maybe here, and this path is gonna be here. Gonna hit play again. Okay, I think that the speed is fine, and I can say that it's showing what I need to show. If you have to make some changes, that's the way you have to do it, okay? Don't forget that. Let me make something here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, what's next? don't forget that if you are going to use a background image in your walkthrough, you have to, number one, make a plane and add the photo there. But if you want to see the photo in the render, you have to hit that number 8 to open the environment and effects and click on the environment map option. Then just go to bitmap, double click on it and look for the photo that you want. Hit open, and when you start making the render, you'll see the photo there. If you're not gonna use a photo, I recommend you to choose a color, a light blue, okay, because we don't want to have a black background in our video. Then hit OK, and you can close the environment and effects window.